Good evening. Thank you for taking the time to attend tonight's virtual public meeting for the Retreat Road Drainage Improvements Project. The meeting is being held from 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. Following this presentation, a live question and answer session will take place. This meeting is the second of two meetings being conducted as part of the project. The first meeting, conducted on January 23, 2020, covered the study phase of the project. Tonight's meeting will cover the design phase of the project. This presentation will review the study phase and then discuss the engineering and other considerations taking place prior to construction. Construction is tentatively scheduled for mid-2021. We sincerely appreciate you taking the time to attend the meeting. Tonight's meeting is being conducted consistent with Title VI requirements. Public participation is solicited without regard to race, color, national origin, age, sex, religion, disability, or family status. The project is located along Retreat Road between Mullet Lake Park Road and Bandit Way. The focus area used in the study to assess flooding along Retreat Road is shown in red. The light blue arrows indicate the general direction of stormwater runoff during significant rainfall events. Orange diamonds represent the locations of concern recorded by the county since the year 2002. The purple lines represent the areas of observed flooding along Retreat Road. Focusing in on Retreat Road, it is obvious there is reoccurring flooding following significant rainfall events. This flooding makes it difficult, if not impossible, for residents and emergency responders to use Retreat Road during significant rainfall. This is a major safety concern that the county takes very seriously. One of the unique elements of having Seminole County involved is that Retreat Road is a private road. Maintenance of the road is the responsibility of the property owners within Mullet Lake Retreat Unit 2. An unrecorded plat from the year 1965 shows two 30-foot wide private easements that border the properties along Retreat Road. Retreat Road is generally centered within these two easements. Residents have captured photos and videos of flooding events along Retreat Road. Here we are looking east from Mullet Lake Park Road following Hurricane Irma in 2017. Hurricane Irma resulted in approximately 18 inches of rain over just a few short days. As you can see by the full-size pickup truck in the background, the flooding is significant. Further east on Retreat Road, looking west towards Mullet Lake Park Road, you can see more flooding. This event was following Hurricane Irene in 2011, another significant rainfall event. As you can see, it appears the drainage ditch along the south side of the road is overtopping and flowing north over Retreat Road. This is consistent with the modeling performed during the planning phase of the project. These images were taken approximately a quarter-mile west of Mullet Lake Park Road following Hurricane Irma in 2017. This video, taken approximately a quarter-mile west of Mullet Lake Park Road, also shows flooding following Hurricane Irma in 2017. Following the request of numerous citizens, property owners, and other stakeholders, Seminole County initiated an engineering study. The goals of the study were to confirm the flooding in the area by developing a computer model that simulates the rainfall and drainage flow, develop various conceptual improvements based on the model results to effectively reduce flooding while avoiding other adverse impacts, and to collect public input on the possible improvements. The study portion of the project and the first public meeting were completed in early 2020. The county has obtained grant funding from FEMA through the Hazard Mitigation Grant Program to help fund 75% of the design and construction phases. The remaining 25% is funded by Seminole County. This funding source has very stringent deadlines that will be discussed later in the presentation. The study design criteria was developed to provide flood protection for Retreat Road for the 10-year, 24-hour design storm event. This is the level at which Retreat Road begins to experience flooding. While this event is consistent with the county's criteria for similar roads, it should be noted that the photos shown were significantly larger storm events than a 10-year 24-hour storm. The improvements must be permittable through the various permitting agencies, most notably the St. Johns River Water Management District. The improvements were also developed to minimize impacts to private property. Based on these parameters, 3 improvement alternatives were developed. Alternative 1 included only upgrading the existing drainage infrastructure along Retreat Road with no property acquisition required. This option protected Retreat Road through the mean annual storm event. The mean annual storm event is equivalent to 5.3 inches of rainfall over 24 hours. It is also commonly referred to as the 2.33 per year 24-hour event. This event has a 42.9% chance of occurring on an annual basis. However, the results of this alternative caused adverse impacts downstream and were therefore considered not permittable. Alternatives 2 and 3 included acquiring property to construct stormwater storage ponds. The selection of the parcels was based on properties either listed for sale or were identified as vacant within the property appraiser's records at the time of the study. Both alternatives provided the desired improvements to protect Retreat Road from flooding through the 10-year, 24-hour design storm event criteria. Both alternatives were found to be permittable through the St. Johns River Water Management District. As a result, the county quickly contacted the identified parcel owners and ultimately acquired the parcel necessary for Alternative 3. Alternative 3 includes creating additional storage for stormwater runoff on the parcel acquired by Seminole County. Acquisition of the Goebel property was completed in May 2020 for a total purchase amount of $273,000, including attorney fees. The existing drainage ditches and culverts along the south side and those crossing Retreat Road would be upsized to more efficiently convey stormwater to the wetland area and outfall to the north towards Mullet Lake and ultimately the St. Johns River. Additionally, Retreat Road would be raised approximately 6 inches on average by adding additional fill in the 2 most flood-prone areas. These areas are depicted as yellow highlights. These improvements would protect Retreat Road from flooding for a 10-year, 24-hour event. Estimated costs are approximately $1.4 million, including land acquisition. To reiterate, these improvements are anticipated to be partially federally funded through FEMA's Hazard Mitigation Grant Program. Since the study phase was completed in January 2020 and the fast-tracked acquisition of the Goebel property was completed in May 2020, the county has been aggressively moving forward with the design and permitting efforts. In March, the county began the formal design and permitting phase of the project. The design efforts are ongoing, but several of the tasks have already been completed, such as survey, geotechnical analysis, contamination screening, a cultural resource assessment, and the necessary modeling to verify the design using the newly collected information. In addition, the engineering team has also used this information to complete the 60% construction plans and submit the permit applications to the St. Johns River Water Management District. The design improvements remain very close to what was presented as part of the study concept Alternative 3. There are 3 typical sections being developed for Retreat Road. A typical section shows the roadway and drainage configurations as if you took a slice out of the roadway. The 3 sections are similar in nature and represent the work to be complete within the Retreat Road existing 60-foot wide private easement. In typical section 1, the road will be raised approximately 6 inches on average and built up with a road-based material such as lime rock, for example. This is similar to the road surface that exists now, but at a raised elevation. Additionally, the roadside ditch along the south will be cleared of vegetation and regraded to flow more efficiently towards the new pond storage area. Any driveways along the south side of the road would be replaced if needed in order to tie back into Retreat Road. Typical Section 1 will be used along the highlighted locations. Typical Section 2 is very similar. However, it will only involve the regrading of the roadside ditch along the south without raising the road in these areas. Typical Section 2 will be used at the highlighted location. Typical Section 3 involves slightly raising the road and regrading the southern ditch. However, this option will also include replacing the asphalt within the areas of Retreat Road that currently have an asphalt surface. The asphalt would primarily be in the lowest parts of Retreat Road, where the compensating storage pond will be constructed, and where Retreat Road most frequently overtops during significant storm events. The proposed improvements are designed to work by stormwater flowing down the improved Retreat Road ditches towards the storage pond. As the southern ditch fills up, it will overtop into the storage pond and fill up the pond. Once the system starts to recover, the pond will freely discharge back into the ditch and then drain down through the drainage culverts under Retreat Road. This is similar to how the system currently discharges to the north, but now with added storage from the pond. This improvement provides the system time to recover before flooding and overtopping Retreat Road up to the 10-year 24-hour storm event. It will not prevent future flooding of the road for more significant storm events or successive back-to-back storms. In addition to the 60% plans being completed and submitted to the county for review, the permit application to the St. Johns River Water Management District has been submitted and is currently under review. However, there is still work to be completed. Next, the application for the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers will be completed and submitted for review and approval. During the permitting review process, the design will continue to be refined, moving towards a final set of plans. The plans will include evaluation and design of a way to maintain traffic along Retreat Road during construction. It is likely that detours will be necessary due to the narrow nature of Retreat Road. Utility coordination will also occur to minimize impacts to existing utilities and for any necessary adjustments to utilities in order to minimize disruptions in service. The final design documents will also be used to satisfy the engineering portion of the FEMA grant funding. The project will then be advertised for construction, with a qualified contractor being selected to construct the improvements. When looking at the overall project schedule, we can see the engineering study was completed in January of this year. At this time, we have submitted 60% design plans and a permit application to the Water Management District. Next will come 90% and then final plans. That will complete the engineering design portion of the project. The FEMA grant funding for design and permitting must be submitted by November 30th, 2020. Project construction then needs to be completed within 9 to 13 months once the contractor is selected by the county. It is anticipated that construction would begin in May of 2021 and continue into 2022. All FEMA closeout documents must be completed and submitted by June 2022 in order to meet the grant funding requirements. This may be the most important aspect of the project. In order for the project to be funded, designed, permitted, and constructed, the property owners within the project limits will need to agree to two key elements before the grant funding deadline of November 30th, 2020. Number one, the property owners adjacent to the improvements will need to agree by signing a temporary construction easement to allow the county and its delegates, such as the contractor, to access their property in order to construct the proposed improvements within the Retreat Road private easement. Number two, the property owners will need to agree to maintain the system in perpetuity in order for the improvements to be permitted by the St. Johns River Water Management District. The majority of property owners have already provided consent that they intend to agree to these conditions based on the notification letters sent out in January of this year. At this point, the formal temporary construction easement documents are being drafted by the County Real Estate Management Office and will soon be coordinated with each property owner for signatures. All property owners must sign the easements in order to obtain the Water Management District permit. Without the permit, the FEMA grant money cannot be obtained and the project will not advance. Therefore, it It is extremely important to voice any concerns with the project within the public comment period so your concerns can be addressed as soon as possible. We recognize you may have additional questions or comments regarding the information presented at tonight's meeting. There are multiple ways for interested parties to submit questions and comments regarding this project. Perhaps the easiest way to submit comments or questions is using the meeting chat box during the virtual meeting on August 27th from 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. Following the presentation, the question and answer portion of the virtual meeting will remain open until 8 p.m. Another way is to use the online feedback form on the project webpage at https://www.seminolecountykfl.gov/CIP01907068. Because the schedule is accelerated, we respectfully request that you submit your comments no later than August 31st, 2020. You can also contact the Engineering Consultant Project Manager, Mr. Steve Sommerfelt, by phone at 407-971-8850, or email him at ssommerfelt@inwoodinc.com. The Seminole County Project Manager, Tuan Nguyen, can be reached by phone at 407-665-5770, or email him at thuynh@seminolecountyfl.gov. Please include Retreat Road Drainage Improvements public feedback in the subject line. Again, thank you for your interest in the project and attending this virtual meeting.